it's kind of crazy how fast he's just going through these things. He just completed the tutorial in about 2 seconds. I don't know how QA missed that. I can tell this guy is probably better at my game than I am. Hello, this is Sam Eng. I'm the developer of Skate Story, which is the game you're seeing on screen here. And this is a speedrun that has been shown to me. I think it's the fastest speedrun right now in the world, or something like that. But it's kind of cut down for this video, so it'll kind of jump around a bit. So I was the main developer on this game, and I'm very excited to see every single thing that I worked on being blazed through. That first level that he just completed probably took me months upon months of iteration. So that's over. But this speedrun will probably skip every single cutscene. But I think I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of backstory and my reactions to this super fast run. So the game itself is actually about maybe like 6 or 7 hours. There's 9 chapters. This speedrun is the total time says it's 1 hour and 22 minutes, which is insanely fast. I feel like I should have hired this guy to do my QA, because it took a lot of time to like play through the game and iron out every single bug. But so this section right here was the first time you learned the power slide, and those road lines, which you see on the screen here, actually took a lot of work to get working correctly. So sort of those zebra stripes, you can see the sort of white line, and those are throughout the game. So actually in each section, it's like one giant like 4K texture that I just hand painted. And it's super useful in terms of getting that like city vibe. And he's blasting down here through the Manhattan Bridge, which is one of my favorite bridges. It appears a few times in this game, but generally a really nice bridge. So if you're ever like skateboarding in New York, I would recommend you going through that. But generally, Skate Story, as I was mentioning before, is about a 6-hour long game. And I actually started developing it 6 years ago. So that's about 1 hour per year of development, I guess. But it took 6 years for it to fully release. I actually wanted it to release it within the first 2 years, but game development just takes a long, long time. And there were a lot of things that I wanted to put in there. The main thing that took the biggest amount of time is all of this content, which is all 9 chapters. It's loosely based on Dante's Inferno, which, if you're unaware, is sort of this very classic Italian poem made by this guy, Dante. But it's actually, that's just one part of this like giant poem, which is called the Divine Comedy. And this first world is based on that. So it's like he just actually skipped the boss fight, so you can't really see it. But the philosopher, which is the sort of the resident of the first depth, is sort of like the lowest of hells. And then after you defeat the philosopher, you're here on the second depth, which it says milk on screen because the chapter is called Warm Milk. And he's just skipping the skateboarding by walking through the very hot flames there, which is something that you could do. One of the design challenges was getting each of the worlds feeling really different. So in this world, you can really see that it has a lot of flames. It's called Warm Milk. It's sort of based on the idea that the skater is too hot to fall asleep. So he's just kind of trying to get through this world, gotta eat the moons to, get his sleep in. I'm actually just watching this, and it's kind of crazy how fast he's just going through these things, because usually it takes a long time for players to kind of get to grips with this thing. And he totally went out of bounds here. That's great. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. Oh, he just skipped the entire section and like touched a little trigger in the back. And then he is now in depth 3. So in depth 3, which is called laundry, you're doing the devil's laundry. So he's collecting these little pieces of the devil's laundry. So these are like the devil's skinny jeans, and he's trying to, you gotta chase him down. And the reason for that is because it's just way too cold here. And the devil's like, well, I got all this other shit I need you to do for me, which is like do my laundry. The main thing I really tried to get through with the story of Skate Story is sort of this torture set out by the devil to do these like meaningless tasks, which I think is very indicative of sort of the life of a skateboarder, or at least a skateboarder like me. Just like doing these things that I find fun or unfun just because of what they are. And this speedrunner is actually doing all the tasks at the same time, which is really cool. So he's getting the robe and getting the pants at exactly the same time, which I don't think I've never seen that before. All right, so now he is going to get the shears. Those are really nice jumps to just get right into the place there. And now we're in chapter 4. And we're just in the tutorial, actually. So this is when you learn the nollie trick, and he just does it in 2 tricks, that is very impressive. So the trick system was something I worked on a lot. I'm assuming the speedrunner understands it really deeply, but it essentially takes into account your momentum and variety of tricks to calculate the points that you get. Because in other skateboarding games, which I'm very much inspired by, it's mostly based on like the amount of combos you do. But I really wanted it to be more based on like how real skateboarding kind of feels. Like if you're going really fast or getting really big air and doing different tricks, I wanted that to be like sort of the main way the game rewards you. And this guy is fucking blazing it. Oh, he missed the door. That's no good. This cafe is actually one of my favorite places in the city. It's based on a real cafe that I used to go to all the time. And he just got his coffee really quickly. And with the Tony Hawk thing I was talking about, this is sort of a reference to that, which is you're collecting these floating letters. I was a massive fan of Tony Hawk, like growing up. Like I think that might have been my first introduction to skateboarding personally. Oh no, what is he doing here? So he looks like he's kind of skipping the entire Tony Hawk letter section, and he's just going into the other world just by jumping through the gate at a weird angle. Here he's collecting the letters from the second area. So these letters are kind of a nod to that Tony Hawk thing. Let's see. So he's abusing the combo system as I mentioned, which is just doing things down, like down staircases and down gaps. Gives you a lot of points because it's sort of based on real skateboarding. It's not as based on the tricks that you do. Like the tricks do matter, but really if you get like big air or you do it over like certain objects, just like in real life, it really gives you a big boost in points. I really wanted to get that idea across of just like sessioning an object. So he was doing it down that curve there, which he did really quickly. And he is. I wonder if he's gonna clip into the next area really quickly as well. To skip through this entire thing, but I can tell this guy is probably better at my game than I am. Okay, there we go. He's just bypassing the entire Tony Hawk quest of this section by just riding on the wall over there. These 3 sections are sort of the main like free skate arc sections. There were, and in this depth, it's sort of like the bureaucratic zone. So he's collecting these letters to get this this form filled out to kind of get through the underworld. This level is called the Department of Death, but he's just kind of blazing through everything here and completing these like Tony Hawk challenges. So the three main things I added in this game are just like the Tony Hawk challenges, the linear levels, which is like kind of going through gate by gate. Oh, that's pretty cool. He just like jumped up and got the letter without doing the gap. And this like the sort of the park level, and then this linear level, and then the third one is the boss fights, which we haven't seen yet, which I would love to see him like defeat those really quickly. But the boss fights were a massive part of the undertaking for this game, because I wanted those like it's like a park level, kind of like this, except you need to, you know, deal damage, sort of similar to like a Dark Souls boss, or like a kind of like a Tony Hawk competition level, but more based on like trying to defeat this like large object. So let's see if he fights the boss here. He's turning in the letter, and this letter is actually the thing that you hand into the boss to try to fight him. Oh, it looks like he's going to abuse some sort of glitch here to jump into the... Oh, okay, that was cool. So he jumped into the skater's dream and then jumped right back in to the checkpoint to appear at the entrance. So skipping that entire section. I don't know how QA missed that. All right, so he's fighting the boss here. Awesome. The Blood Seer, which is like this giant evil eye. It's like one of the... Maybe it's like the third boss I made, but this is in the 4th chapter. Where it's like this giant eye. And the initial concept behind it was that you had to do tricks. I was like, oh, how are you going to like fight bosses with a skateboard? So the initial concept was actually based on this boss, where I was like, oh man, like how are you do tricks to like damage a boss? And I was like, well, in real life, skateboarding is super cool, because like if people see it and you land a trick or you fail, like that kind of like has some sort of power to it, right? So this giant eye was like one of the first bosses that I made, where you had to do tricks where the giant eye was looking. So you can see here that like giant thing, he's gonna do like a big trick, and this speedrunner really understands how the combo system works. So he's just kind of building it up, doing like, and then stomping inside of the gaze. I'm very impressed at the the large air that he's getting. He's just doing like the most complex tricks and like off things and just stomping. That gives you a lot of points. But yeah, this was sort of the first idea where that came from, of like doing tricks where the moon or the boss was looking, and then the moon turns into this like little basketball that's kind of scared of you because you're gonna eat it, and he knows exactly where it's gonna go because he's played this more times than I have. So yeah, I mean, that boss was kind of a pivotal moment in terms of figuring out the design of the game, and like these sections now of just like learning to stomp. So he's doing the tutorial here of how to do the advanced tricks, but obviously he just completed the tutorial in about 2 seconds. You know, I do think that like looking through this is kind of like watching a QA player play through it, except even faster than that. It's very impressive. So now he's in level 5, which is like the zone in which people are really angry at other people. It's based on like raft essentially, and it looks like he's trying to glitch through this little door somehow. And I'm not sure how he's gonna do it because there's like multiple layers. Oh, he did it. There you go. So the physics are something that I would say is the most broken part of the game. I think skateboarding games are like really based on their physics, and it's really difficult to get it correctly. I know that like games like Skate 3, I love like the sort of little physics glitches they have in there, and it's what really makes the game really fun. I'm not sure if my game has as many cool little glitches as Skate 3, just because, as the sole developer, I couldn't really spend all that time to make like an active ragdoll skateboarding thing. But I did really want players to kind of blaze through these levels in a satisfying way. So this is the other type of level I was talking about, the path levels, which is sort of how you. It's kind of like based on like skating through lines. Oh, I don't know why he did it. Oh, he found like the one little spot where you can like damage two of the guys with one trick. It's pretty cool. So this is also the other. It's like the combination of those two types of levels I was talking about, of like a boss fight and the path level. So you can kind of, the game kind of mixes and matches those things. So the game assumes now, okay, you've learned how to do those like vision-based skate spots. So now you kind of have to do tricks while blasting through these levels. I'm very impressed at like him not shattering at all, except on purpose to try to glitch through. So this boss was like the second boss I made that wasn't the moon. This is like a giant jewel, and it actually uses the same exact shader as the player. It's just kind of a nod to the fact that the jewels and like the glass element is not just for this demon. Your glass body kind of holds like one piece of soul, but this thing actually holds like 40,000 souls inside of it. And then your goal here is to kind of get it and bring it back to this evil penguin, which is really annoying. Very annoying little penguin there. I think he kind of messed up there. Or maybe he didn't mess up. Maybe that was on purpose to, finish the ender even quicker. Because I guess if you die during the ender, you can maybe save a few seconds. This is the second phase of the boss, which is one of my favorite boss fights of the game, because of the music. I do want to talk a little bit about it, so all of the music is actually you can stream it, because of the bands the band Blood Cultures made it available to stream on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, so you won't get copyright striked. But this track is one of my favorites. It's off their second album, and this fight was sort of really based on that like forward momentum feeling of this track. So you can see like those projections are sort of where the jewel is like reflecting light, and you have to sort of do tricks like in its light. But Blood Cultures was like one of the first things I had into the game actually, and it was not added afterwards. So when I started working on the game, I had this idea. I was a really big fan of Blood Cultures, and I was like, oh hey, do you want to make some music for this game? I just like emailed them, and I barely had a prototype, and they were like, okay, sure. Okay, now we're in chapter 6, which is the next chapter. And this is one of my favorite Blood Cultures tracks of all time. It's called Flowers for All Occasions. And this level is really intense because it combines a lot of things from the previous levels. So there is a timer going on. There's like things you have to break. There's like things you have to do tricks on. And it's like one of the best Blood Cultures tracks ever. So this level actually uses a lot of things I made from the beginning, and I had to scatter around. Oh my god, yeah, he's just avoiding those little barriers there, so you didn't have to do those. The development for this level was probably throughout the entire game, because some of these levels I made within the first year, and then some of these levels I made in the last year. Like this part, I think I made in the last year, and then the one previously I made like maybe like in the midpoint. Yeah, but this was one of my favorite things to do. He's just blasting through this thing. So this is like 6 years of work. This is this part I made it last year though, where you're kind of breaking through these things, and he's using the session marker feature to really quickly teleport to the beginning, so you can get through these little moon projections really quickly. It's very smart, actually. I never thought about doing that. And then here, this is like right before the boss. Let's see how he does this chain, which has like all these little tricks that you have to complete. But the skate chain thing is sort of, oh, he's using like the session marker thing again. This guy is very smart. And then now you are. I think this might be my favorite boss fight personally, just because this is when I figured out that I could fuse path levels with boss fights. Because one of my favorite parts of this game was the path levels, like the first type of level I made. But then I was like, oh man, it would be cool if a boss level was a path level. I was really impressed that he defeated 2 sections of the of the HP bar. One of the reasons I added the sections for the HP bar was to discourage players from like doing too much in one section. But looks like he is going through that regardless, which is that's pretty cool. I don't think he has to repeat any of the levels, so he's like defeating it in one go. It's very impressive. But this boss fight's one of my favorites, just like because of the music is like this Blood Culture's original, and really cool. It looks like he just is now in chapter 8, which I would say might be my favorite chapter altogether. Most of it is not gameplay, to be quite fair, because a lot of it is like story, and then it sort of breaks. It's sort of like a breakdown in terms of the gameplay, or like a bridge. I planned out a lot of the game like sort of based on like a song structure, like sort of like a verse, chorus, verse, bridge kind of thing. And this is sort of like the bridge of the game, and this is. I would say I think this is like probably one of other people's like this maybe is my second favorite boss fight, but I think getting through this part is I don't know, the music makes me very very happy and feel a very certain amount of way. This is like a Blood Culture's original, and the flashing scenes there were an addition to the game in the last 6 months of development, because I don't know what made me want to add them. I think I have no idea. I guess it's sort of somewhat based on Evangelion. I mean, you could tell like just based on the sitting player there, but you can see the speedrunner here is just kind of blasting through each one and doing big tricks on these ramps, and so the fact that he's doing like these unique tricks gives him a lot of points. So he's able to just, I guess, defeat it in like one go. He also doesn't need to repeat any sections here. Like I think he's clearing the section before before you even actually get to the end of this world. this is a, and then he gets to the sort of the little spoiler section here, which is the in the editor area. And this actually took a lot of time to create. You can't actually ship the Unity editor within the editor. So this is just like a little mock-up. But you can see the little scene view on the side. Oh, whoa, that's cool. You just gotta skip that entire big jump over there. But you can see the little scene view at the side there. It's funny when I have to test this, I don't even. Oh no, he messed up. That's no good. He's gonna lose like 5 seconds there. But the scene view there. When I test this, I just teleport myself to the end because I have the developer tools, right? So you can actually see all the development tools in the scene view. So there's like the little Sam's bar 2000, which has all these little shortcuts to like help me do things. Yeah, back to the Evangelion little zone there. All right, so this is the final chapter, chapter 9, and this chapter took me the longest to create. In terms of like, I have no idea how to get it working well, but this was a really, really annoying chapter to create because I wanted it to take place inside of the final boss. So you're kind of skating down the centipede's throat over here, which is, you know, the not really accurate to Dante's Inferno, but it does technically take place in the final depth of Dante's Inferno, like on the ice lake, where the centipede's sleeping, and you're trying to skate through the throat, and you can tell the speedrunner here is sort of doing ultra big tricks to like clear the gates here. So here in the final area, you have to do big tricks essentially to clear each linear section, whereas in the previous sections you could just kind of skate to the end. Here you have to unlock the gates by doing tricks, and he's just kind of speeding through it, which is just quite cool. Oh no, he messed up. I do think that, like, with the amount of mess ups that I've seen here, because the game is pretty long, it's maybe like, because it's like 6 hours long, right? Like, there definitely is a lot more that I think this guy could optimize. No shade to the speedrunner, but there's definitely I feel like you could probably get it down to like under an hour. I don't think I could, but someone else could. Oh, he's gonna make a big jump here. Oh, nice. Yeah, that already saves like a minute, like right over there. But yeah, so chapter 9 took me a long time to. Oh, whoa. Oh, he's just jumping to like the other area. That is cool. Kind of avoiding the whole level there. That's pretty sick. But chapter 9 uses a lot of the other areas sort of remixed. So as I was saying before, with like sort of the song structure that I was doing, like here, this level is sort of like this boss rush, which doesn't necessarily use the same bosses as before, but it kind of remixes it a little bit. Of like, okay, here's the purple moon again, but in like a cool, sort of different way, like kind of a shorter way, kind of like calls back to it. But it took me a long time to like figure out what I wanted chapter 9 to feel like. In terms of design, I really wanted all the tracks to match that like sort of Blood Culture's song structure and like the vibes of that. So this song that plays in this boss fight, Where the City Can't See, is one of my favorites off the Neo album. It's just so good. It's like this super danceable poppy track with like samples of the New York City subway, and it kind of like cuts in and out. It's like really, really cool. But these levels, like this entire boss fight here, which is like this a path level / boss fight remix, is kind of interspersed with like previous levels of the game. Since you're inside of the centipede right now in the story, you're trying to reclaim all the moons, and it's like this final hurrah. he's just going through. He just like defeats these bosses. Like you can't even see them honestly. You see them for about like 5 seconds, and then he's just clearing them. Yeah, like in one trick. It's very smart because he's building up the combo in the previous sections, and then clearing the boss in the next section. So he's like saving his combo points because of the way the combos work in this game are like, oh no, he messed up. But the way the combos work in this game is that sort of similar to real life skateboarding. It's based on just your tricks. You like in Tony Hawk, your combo ends the instant your wheels touch the ground if you're not in a manual or revert or anything. But in Skate Story, I want it to be like, well, you can keep your combo going even if you do a big push. Oh wow, he's really bombing down here. He's going 90 miles per hour. That's I didn't know my physics would hold up there, but that that counter is accurate in case you're wondering. Oh, this is the final part of the game, so you kind of skip the entire like final boss fight, which is, you know, I guess if somebody wants to play it, I guess it's nice that you won't see it here. But I put a lot of effort to that final boss fight. It's like really intense. But here you're a little. This is sort of a little spoiler at the end there, where you're a little slug and you're just you hit the final little end here. Oh, that's me. Yeah, that's the game. Yeah, if you wanna, I guess, see the entire actual game, you could play it on Steam, or PlayStation or Switch. It's out now. Took me 6 years, and it'll probably take you about maybe 6 hours. Unless you're really really good, then maybe you can beat it in like an hour, like this, and beat this guy's speedrun. Yeah, I mean, let me know what you think of this, and what's your favorite level, or what's your favorite boss fight? Was it here? Thanks for watching, guys.